Captain Sarah Chen gripped the railing of the observation deck as the hegemony fleet materialized in Earth's orbit. 73 vessels, each the size of a city, their crystalline hulls reflecting the pale blue of humanity's homeworld. For 3 centuries, the hegemony had been humanity's benevolent protectors, guiding their technological advancement, mediating their conflicts, offering wisdom from their ancient civilization. Today, that illusion would die. All human vessels are ordered to withdraw beyond the asteroid belt. The transmission crackled through the bridge speakers. Ambassador Kethvar's voice carried the same measured tone it had used in countless diplomatic meetings, but there was something different now, something cold. This directive is non-negotiable. Admiral Martinez stepped forward, his weathered face grim. Signal all fleet commanders. Full defensive positions around Earth. We're not moving. Sarah watched the hegemony ships through the viewport, their elegant forms no longer seeming graceful but predatory. The truth had come out 3 days ago, through intercepted communications. Humanity wasn't the hegemony's protected species. They were livestock being fattened for harvest. Admiral, Communications Officer Reynolds called out, "We're receiving a priority transmission from Ambassador Kethvar himself." The main screen flickered to life, revealing the familiar humanoid figure that had been humanity's primary contact with the galactic community. Kethvar stood 7 feet tall, his pale blue skin unmarked by time, his large black eyes reflecting an intelligence that had seen civilizations rise and fall. "Admiral Martinez," Kethvar began, his voice carrying a note of what almost sounded like disappointment. "You force us to reveal what we had hoped to keep hidden until the proper time." Sarah felt her stomach clench as she watched the being who had attended her academy graduation, who had praised humanity's potential, who had guided them toward the stars. "Your species has exceeded our projections," Kethvar continued. "In 3 centuries, you have grown from primitive spaceflight to interstellar capability. Your population has reached optimal levels. Your genetic diversity has been carefully maintained through our guidance. The harvest season has arrived." Admiral Martinez stepped closer to the screen. "Harvest season? You've been farming us." "Such crude terminology," Kethvar replied. And for the first time in their relationship, Sarah heard genuine emotion in his voice, disdain. "We have nurtured humanity, protected you from galactic conflicts, guided your development. You should be honored to serve a higher purpose." The Admiral's voice was steel. "And if we refuse?" Kethvar's expression didn't change, but something shifted behind his eyes. The mask of benevolence that had defined 3 centuries of human hegemony relations began to crack. Refusal was anticipated, but deemed improbable. "You lack the technological capability to resist. Your weapons are gifts we provided, your ships designed with our oversight. Every human military installation was built with our consultation." He paused, tilting his head. "Resistance is futile and will only increase suffering." Sarah felt the collective breath of humanity being held across the solar system. This was the moment that would define their species submit to creatures who had never seen them as anything more than cattle, or fight with whatever scraps of independence they had managed to preserve. Admiral Martinez straightened his shoulders. "Then you clearly don't understand humans as well as you think." He cut the transmission and turned to face his bridge crew. "All ships, prepare for combat. Signal Earth Command, initiate Protocol 7. Sarah's hands flew across her console as she relayed the order. Protocol 7, the contingency plan that military leadership had developed in secret, hidden from hegemony oversight. For 50 years, a small group of human engineers and scientists had been developing weapons and technologies without alien guidance, preparing for the possibility that their protectors might one day become their predators. The space around Earth erupted in activity as human vessels moved into defensive formations, Mining ships converted into missile platforms, civilian transports transformed into troop carriers, scientific vessels bristling with experimental weapons that the hegemony had never seen. On the main screen, Ambassador Kethvar's face reappeared, but the diplomatic mask was completely gone now. His features had hardened into something alien and terrible, revealing the predator that had always lurked beneath the veneer of civilization. You disappoint us, humans. We offered you a peaceful transition to your greater purpose. Now you will experience the full weight of hegemony might. The first hegemony vessel opened fire, its energy beam lancing toward the human defense perimeter. But instead of the decisive blow they expected, the beam struck a barrier of interlaced energy fields, shield technology that humanity had developed in hidden laboratories, powered by fusion reactors the hegemony hadn't known existed. Sarah watched as human ships began their counterattack. Railguns firing tungsten slugs at relativistic speeds, nuclear missiles guided by AI systems that had been evolving in secret for decades, and most shocking of all, energy weapons that seemed to disrupt hegemony shields with devastating efficiency. How? Kethvar's image flickered back on screen, his composure finally cracking. Your technology should not be capable of. Capable of what? Admiral Martinez interrupted. Thinking for ourselves? Fighting back? Maybe you should have paid closer attention to human history before you decided to make us your cattle. The battle raged